So for this quick assignment, you're going to be starting with a blank document. We're going to start with just a regular normal letter size document. Again, go to your drop down, select letter. You'll see it's 8.5 inches wide by 11 inches in height. And then you're going to go ahead and say OK. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is determine what fruit or vegetable you're going to use for this. And one thing that might help you quite a bit is if you go to find your clip art. So in this case, I chose a tomato, and I actually kind of chose some words based upon that. You can start looking at fruit clip art just to get some ideas as to how they can be separated into individual pieces, ways to inspire how you're going to work. You might see something done on an apple that you might say, oh, that'd be a cool effect for me to add to my eggplant, etc. So what you're going to do is you're going to find that. I'm just going to go ahead and copy it over. Paste it. This one is labeled for reuse when I did a search. But again, I'm only using it as a guide. I'm not using it as something that I'm going to keep permanently as part of my artwork. So I'm not borrowing something, quote unquote, from someone. All right, so what I would recommend is for you to decide how it is you're going to separate this. So I probably will do, again, our minimum is 7. Here's 1. Here's 2. I might do a third, 3, 4. Maybe instead I will separate this into individual pieces. So maybe that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then maybe some other details in there. So to get started, what I would do is I would start with your outer shape, okay? Again, you want to make sure that you're getting a really nice, I might go ahead and Alt-click on this to change that angle up a little bit to get that to come out just a little bit more. Do not forget the importance of switching up those and closing those pathways, I'm sorry. So that one's all ready. If it helps, though, please feel free to remove the fill, all right? Again, come in, direct selection tool. I selected that anchor point. I might actually pull that out a little bit. I might say, you know what, click to activate. I'm going to drag that guy up. I'm going to click this handle. I want to pull it out that way. Kind of go, there we go. Kind of go with what you think it needs to be asking for, okay? I would probably suggest you go ahead and get those shapes in there nicely. So the next one, let's say I'm going to come out here. Maybe it'll stretch all the way here. I might open a really big handle right there. I'm going to have to readjust that. I'm going to change the direction. I'm going to zoom out, Control minus to zoom out. Oops, zoom way too far out. Again, I'm going to Alt-click to kind of manipulate that handle a little bit. Be able to move that in here. Change that out. I would then come back here with my direct selection tool. And again, continue on my way to changing out what the shape and look of this particular part of the tomato would be. I might actually put another put another point and be able to pop that up a little bit more. But I'm going to continue. This one, this may or may not work with it being so kind of strangely shaped. You're just going to have to wait and see as you're working on that. So that might be one. This might be one. Again, click and hold to get those curves. I'm going to go ahead and Alt-click on that handle to drag that down that way. Alt-click on that handle to drag that down as well. Close that shape and continue. Again, you're going to need to manipulate these. So you're going to need to move these around so that you're able to get this shape to something that's more recognizable as you go. Okay? So as we're coming in here, this shape is going to need to be in the direction of the text. So you might actually need to move this out of the way, and I might move all of this stuff up just to get this. Oops. Let me drag him off of there. Sorry, I grabbed him as well. I'm going to go ahead and just move this stuff out of the way, and I'm going to bring this here. I'll probably fill it with some color so I can see it. All right. I also went through and I looked up words for tomato in other languages. So in Italian, pomodori. So I might go ahead, I can even copy that, Control C, copy that. I'm going to come in, put my text in, go ahead and change my character. Again, I definitely suggest something with a little bit more heft on this, and you're going to want to make sure that the letters are pretty close together. You don't want a lot of space between them. So as you're looking in here, when you're finding auto, you're going to go ahead and start to utilize some of the, I don't know what's going here. This is the spacing between. I'm going to get it really close together. I'm going to go ahead to my selection tool, grab this guy, rotate it so it's sort of in the same direction as I want my lettering to go. Tiny bit more. Again, I'm going to select it and I'm going to arrange it into the front, Shift Control J as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab both of them. The usual object, envelope, distort, envelope, distort, and make with top object, and you're going to see that that one is in there. Again, it's a little more difficult to read that one right over here, so I might end up redoing something there, maybe making a second shape, making it skinnier. But once that's made, I can then go ahead and begin working with that as part of my document. Okay, so let's say that's all done, and I'm going to go ahead and just select. I'm going to put them in. Oh, missed a guy. I'm going to put them in a different color, just so that you can really see them. Oh, I have to go individually. Go into here, and I'm going to have to alter that one later. This guy goes bye-bye. When you're all done, you do not want to have that shape in there of that original piece. You can go ahead and delete that. So once you're all done, these should be appropriately colored to what it is you need. Don't forget you're going to want to put a background in there. So I'm going to go ahead and drag a rectangle onto my artboard. And then when I go to fill it, what I'll probably do is use my eyedropper. I'm going to go ahead and select sort of like a tomato red. And that's the one that I'm going to arrange and send to the back. Arrange, send to back. So that all these other things appear in front. Again, I would have to continue and have at least 7. This is what's going to define what the shape looks like, and then you've got a nice solid color background. It should be centered with some breathing room around it. You want to give it some negative space around that, and really spend some time refining it and deciding what words are going to go in. You could look up, the health benefits of, you could look up maybe recipes that are used with that particular fruit or vegetable. Like this could be like, lasagna. This one could be meatballs, spaghetti sauce, pizza, those sorts of things. It can all be sort of Italian influence, for example. So again, spend some time on this. Really choose wisely as you are going. Make it nice and clean, and make some good plans. And that's it.